So today the presentation is about supply chain management and basically what a supply chain is, what supply chain management is, and how it's helpful, and about who uses supply chains. Those are the big questions coming into this about supply chain management. So going forward, we'll start off with what is a supply chain. Um, just kind of an overall description of it so you know what we're working with. A supply chain is an organization of people, activities, resources, information, anything that will link companies' development process together. It's all about going from the supplier to the customer in the smoothest possible fashion. It can include anything like natural resources, raw materials, and other components of whatever the producer's product is. So the supply chain consists of who and what make a product. So anything in the product, anything um, that goes into and comes out of the product, and also the people developing the product. Everything is needed together, and they're linked between several organizations. So it's not just one facility. It's all the way from start to finish, the development of the product. It's about going from the supplier to the customer, and that means that the chain stretches again from beginning to end and goes through multiple organizations, multiple facilities, and the product grows as it moves. Imagine like a factory line where you start off with just one thing and you add to it and you add to it, and then it just keeps going until it's finally produced entirely. So again, what it's made of is natural resources, raw materials, and components. This means that combined materials make up a product, and that each organization is specialized in its own thing. You won't see one organization trying to do more than one thing. It's very specific, and everything in the single organization is very specialized. And then materials are transported until you get to the final product. So then what is supply chain management? And that is the management of the supply chain, to say it simply. It's the management of the flow of the goods and services. This is going to be interlinked networks and channels, keeping everything flowing smoothly from one organization to the other, and so on until you get to the end, to the customer. It's all about operations, logistics, and tech management. So managing the flow of the goods, the supply chain is monitoring and controlling how the product moves as it grows from one organization to another. The interlinked networks and channels is talking about how you really, when you go from one to another, you're not, it's important to minimize the time that takes and make it very efficient. It's important to work between networks and not just within the network, which is how they did it in the past. And it really slowed things up, but nowadays it's much more efficient and everything flows smoothly generally. And we're talking about designing, controlling, and monitoring. You got to plan how to manage the supply chain. They don't just wing it these days. There's a very specific plan on how this process is done. And they control the supply chain, they monitor the progression, and they're always trying to improve it. It combines operations, logistics, and IT. You got managers looking over all three of these things, and it really helps optimize the process. And again, with the IT, the information technology, in the past that wasn't such a big thing, but now everyone needs that IT. Everyone needs to handle the process from a technological standpoint. So how can supply chain management be helpful? I've kind of touched on it a little bit already, on optimizing everything and making it faster, but it's all about less time and lower costs, which can result in a better product. And this way, you're always looking to make things easier on the customer, easier on the producer, and a more efficient system will improve production time. And of course, improved production time will lower production costs. And that means that they can charge less and still have the same profit, which of course the customer is going to like, because why wouldn't you want to pay less for something that you're going to have to buy? The better product comes because supply chain management will lead to higher quality work. Because every organization specializes in something, they can be very good at what they do. They don't have to be mediocre at everything. They can just be very good at one specific thing. And that means that along the way, the product will be better overall. It's how the specialization guarantees high quality. And then if the supply chain management is good, everything will be linked together properly. And hopefully that leads to a better product. And then, of course, who uses supply chain management? It's everyone. It's in modern production, it's absolutely necessary. There's no way around it. You have to use supply chain management to keep up with companies these days. So supply chain management improves the production time and cost, which will make everything more efficient. That way the product will be improved, the prices will be lower, and companies can keep up in modern business while improving their side of the business. The customers will also be happier because it'll be cheaper for them and a better product. And overall, it will be better that way.